I'm Laura, and I'm going to talk to you about exercise 1. People who don't do a lot of writing may not have thought about the fact that there are 2 parts to writing a second draft: getting your information organized and then refining sentences. Emphasize the importance of doing these 2 steps in order. Changes that you make to the structure of a doc can influence how you revise a particular sentence. In some cases, you might decide that you can eliminate a sentence instead of revising it. Give your students a few moments to read the instructions on this slide. Emphasize that in the first part of this exercise, they'll only be working on the structure of the draft, not revising the individual sentences. Before you send your students off to their small groups to work on the exercise, show them the next slide. Tell students you'll give them enough time to work independently and also have time to discuss with their lab partner. Ideally, students will already have their exercise document and small group video conferencing open, but you may need to allow an extra couple of minutes for this exercise if some groups are still getting through those steps. When the class comes back together as a group, show them the sample solution. Emphasize that it's okay if their solution is different from the sample. Ask if anybody would like to share their headings. Before sending students back to their small groups for the second part of the exercise, be sure to review the instructions for part 2, shown here, and also remind them to leave time for discussion with their partner. If they had significantly different answers for part 1 of the exercise, they might want to discuss whether one structure worked better than the other when they got to part 2. When you come back together as a group, show the 3 parts of the sample solution, pausing for a quick discussion after each slide. Check the time when you reach this final discussion slide for the exercise. If you're nearing the 30-minute mark and have only 2 hours for the course, skip this slide and move on to the next exercise. If you do have time, in addition to the suggested questions in the speaker notes for these slides, you could also ask, if you had section titles that were significantly different from the sample, how did that affect how you revised your sentences? Or what ideas would you want to steal from your partner's answer?